Hi, welcome to another video with the light shining in. Might be a mistake, but we're gonna go with it. It is nearly the end of the month, but I'm gonna film this book haul anyway. Light anything I get. I know there's a couple of things coming out that might make it to me before the end of the month, but we're just gonna roll them into next month's haul because I have a lot of books here already to talk to you about. Some of them I've already read, some of them are going to be in my October TBR, which you would have already seen, but I'm filming next. Most of them are new releases, most of them. But let's get started. I don't want to spend too long on this video. I don't want it to be too long, so let's get going. So first off, I won a competition through Dymocks this month, which was for the automatic entries came when you purchased the new Suzanne Collins book, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And if you were a Dymocks member, you automatically went in the draw to win some prizes. And I won a box set of the Hunger Games. Technically I own the Hunger Games, but I don't have them with me. They're kind of mum's and mine, and she's got them in her place. So I guess I now have a copy of the Hunger Games that's just mine. Yeah, it's in a slipcase. These will go straight on my red shelf somewhere. Yeah. I won that, I guess. I don't really have much to say. Let's get right into the actual book. Should I start with books I've actually read? Is that a good place to start? Or do we just go through? Let's just go through. So first off in my stack here we have The Scapegraces by Hannah Abigail Clark. This is a small press publication that has been getting a lot of hype, and for good reason. Like, look at this. I'm definitely going to be reading this in October. This is a spooky, queer story with witches. So our main character is a witch, lesbian and lifelong outsider going to a new school. I've heard amazing things from people. I desperately wanted to try this and I'm so glad it arrived. Oh, this is doing good things for me, and this is really good production quality for a small press. Like, they went all in. Like, I'm so glad. This is their first release. The press is called Erewhon, and this is their first novel that they've come out with. Next up we have Piranesi by Susanna Clark. Again, this is going to be on my October TBR. You'll have already seen. Why am I talking future tense? You will have already seen it. This is on my October TBR. And this is, I don't know that much about the plot of this, to be honest. It has strong Labyrinth, Pan's Labyrinth, but also like Minotaur vibes for me. You can see the little Pan on there. And yeah, I know nothing about the actual plot of this, but I am absolutely fascinated, and I just wanted it. I just wanted it. I'm sorry. I also picked up Hard by Katrina Leno. This is going on my October TBR, but if you saw my October TBR, there are too many books on it. They're not all going to get read. This might be one. This got added kind of late, so this might get left off in the long run. But this is Katrina Leno's new release. I love this cover. And it's a haunted house kind of mystery, I believe. But I am obsessed. I also got my copy of Ironheart by Nina Varela. This is the sequel to Cryer's War. This is a sapphic, it's like sci-fi dystopian. And I really enjoyed book one. It was like a 4-star for me, I think, or a high 3-star. And I really wanted to continue the series. I'm really fascinated to see where it goes. So this is book 2, and I love these covers. Cryer's War's cover was also beautiful. Another sequel I picked up is As the Shadow Rises by Katie Rose Poole. This is the sequel to what's the There Will Come a Darkness. I love that the covers match so beautifully, and this I think is a duology. And the world has a lot of magic, but also prophets and a lot of big things going on. I really enjoyed book 1. Again, it was like a 4-star read, and I definitely wanted to continue the series. So this is book 2. I also picked up another sequel. This is Jan Country by Emily Tesh. I'm hoping I might be able to squeeze this onto my current, this month's, September's reading, but we'll see. It's nice and short. This is the sequel to Silver in the Wood, which I really loved. And this just came out. Silver in the Wood is like a magic folktale, fairy tale kind of story, and hopefully this will continue that. Then we have Elatsue by Darcy Littlebadger. This is a YA, I should show you the, I don't think any of the others have fancy underjackets, but this one does. This is a YA fantasy based on, like, I think it's like a decolonialized narrative of the Americas, and our main character Elatsue is Lipan Apache, and she can raise the spirits of the dead, and it's part of the culture, but there are taboos around like raising people and things like that. And she has a ghost dog, and I'm just so excited. This looks so sweet. I've only heard good things about it, and again, I am like very hyped about this. A book I know almost nothing about, but I was pulled in straight off the bat. This is A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. This is a historical fantasy, I think. It's a generational tale, maybe? 1821, World War II, witches. I'm excited. This again is on my October TBR. We have The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. This is a adult fantasy. Do I know the plot of this very much? No. It is, I'm pretty confident it's a Chinese inspired fantasy. Magic, revolution, and mystery with a female lead. Again, I've heard amazing things, but if you know me, I don't like to know much about a book before I go in, so I don't really know that much. A book I have read is Lost Book of the White by Cassandra Clare and Wesley Chu. This is the second book in the Bane Chronicle, not Bane Chronicles, Eldest Curses. I enjoyed this. I didn't love it, but I'll be talking about that in my wrap up. But this is obviously the second book in the series. We're following Magnus and Alec after the events of City of Heavenly Fire. So that's our timeline for this. Actually, it's after Shadowhunter Academy. Another book I've already read is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angeles. This is described as like Moulin Rouge meets like the Night Circus. I feel that, but it's totally different at the same time. For me, this is like Ace of Shades meets, I don't know, I talked about it so much in my vlog. If you want to see my detailed thoughts about this, check out my vlog, and I will be talking about it in my wrap up. But I'm blanking on what I thought it was Ace of Shades mixed with. Oh, Now You See Me by the movie, Now You See Me. Yeah, I'll be talking about this in my wrap up. It's fantasy. I'd say it's new adult. The characters aren't aged, but I think this is marketed as young adult, but I would say it's on the upper end of young adult, and involves magic, show magic. It's really good. I will be talking about it more in my wrap up. Another book I've already read, that is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is a standalone YA fantasy, more paranormal than fantasy. We follow Yadril, who is a trans boy who is wanting to be a brujo. His whole family are brujex, and his whole family are like, no, you are bruja, but his magic doesn't work the way bruja magic works. And hi Cat, hello, she's trying to come in. And so he's trying to prove to his family that he's a brujo, and there's a ghost boyfriend, and it's so good. It's so good, but I will be talking about it more in my wrap up. And you should buy it and read it. Oh, it's got a beautiful under the cover. Oh, look at that. And this is the normal cover. The Barnes & Noble exclusive has a full Under the Dust Jacket cover. This one is also quite pretty. Look at that. Next up, we have The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've been really intrigued by Jennifer Lynn Barnes' stories for a while. She writes like spy thrillery kind of things. This is a new, it's either a standalone or a new series. We Were Liars meets Da Vinci Code, says Kat Ellis. But this, I believe, follows a character who out of the blue gets offered the inheritance of this rich man. He's like, here's my inheritance, when he dies. but she has to go live in this mansion with all his family members. And they obviously want the inheritance that they thought was theirs, not this random girl's. And it's a game, puzzle stuff. I'm really keen to read this. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I am really keen. I also picked up Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. This is the sequel to Spin the Dawn, which I read and really enjoyed. And I desperately wanted to finish out the duology because it's only a duology. So this is the follow-up to that. It's a Chinese inspired. The first one was described as Mulan meets Project Runway, though I think this one's going to take a big sidestep considering the wrap up of book 1, but I'm really interested to see where this wraps up. I also picked up Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. This is this came out a year ago, I think, but the second one in the series has come out. And I missed the release of this one entirely, but this is a new series from him. This one, when it came out, was new. And it's following a crime writer who is writing a story in here, but I think the main character is his editor, and so she's like trying to solve the murders that are connected to this crime writer's stories. I really enjoyed Anthony Horowitz's The Word is Murder series, which was himself as the main character dealing with these mysteries that then formed the basis of the books he was publishing. I loved the meta-ness of those. They were really fun and they were good mysteries. So hopefully this one will be comparable. It is chunky, but hang on. What's in the back of here? It suddenly starts paging again, like midway through. Oh, right, because it's got the manuscript itself in there. I forget that. So there is the manuscript, which has its own page number. So it's like a book within a book, but like a full book within a book. And then you come back to the actual like character, who then comes back in again for like a whole section of book. I am super keen to read this. I have no idea what I'm gonna think, but it's like 2 books in 1 book, and there's a sequel. I can't remember what it's called, but I like Anthony Horowitz's writing for mysteries. It's definitely like a murder mystery detective-y kind of story, or at least that's what his previous stuff has been. He worked on Foyle's War, but he's also the author of the Alex Rider series, if you're like, where do I know the name? And he's also worked on Sherlock Holmes work, which I really liked as well. He wrote 2 continuations of the Sherlock Holmes, like he was paid to write for the Sherlock Holmes estate, and I really liked those as well. So yeah, I trust his mysteries, so we're keen for this. If you were wanting a good alternative to, like if you were kind of into the Dreaded Writers alternatively named mysteries, but you didn't want to support that Dreaded Writer, but you like that style, Anthony Horowitz. I don't know anything bad about Anthony Horowitz. Doesn't mean there isn't, but I don't know anything. Then next up we have Seven Devils by Elizabeth May and Laura Lamb. I wasn't sure if I was going to get this. It was kind of on my radar, but I wasn't super determined because I'm not sure if I'm into space opera in general. Though I have read a bit of it, I don't mind it, but it doesn't like drag me in. But this is sapphic, so I bought it. It's a space opera, that's all I know. Also, this title was based off the Florence Welch song, so. I also picked up another dystopian sci-fi. This is The First Sister. I like the other cover better, but obviously I could support my bookstore by buying this cover. This is a queer sci-fi, The Handmaid's Tale is how it was described to me. It's not very long, it's only just over 300 pages. And yeah, I've been hearing great things about it. This cover to me just screams like shitty Star Wars cover, which is why I'm not like in love with it. I love the American cover. So if you were interested in this book, go check out the American cover. It's beautiful. But yeah, I'm hoping to read this sometime soon. Next up we have Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the sequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I read last month and really enjoyed, like in August. And I loved my time reading it. I thought it was super fun. So this is the sequel. I think it's going to be a whole series, but I'm keen to read this. It's murder mystery podcasty. The main character runs a podcast. Podcast? It's not a podcast. It's a like web series kind of thing. But it has strong like serial vibes because they're trying to solve cold cases. I also bought Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. This is the sequel to Serpent and Dove, which I liked, but I could totally see it had a bunch of flaws. I've heard some bad things about this, and I don't know. I'm still interested in reading it. I want to see where the story ends up, and I like these covers, but I'm a little scared if I'm being honest. I picked up The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. This will be my first Matt Haig, but I've heard his stories are absolutely amazing. This is about a library where you can look at the other kinds of parallel lives you could have lived. I've heard amazing things. A lot of people were reading it this month and only had great things to say about it. I am kind of upset that it never kind of worked out, that I could have put it on my TBR for Bookopoly, but I'm super excited about this. A book I bought for myself. Why am I saying that? I bought all of this for myself, really. Yeah, I bought, was there one that April bought for me? I think they're still in the mail. Yeah. So this is something to do with Denmark, magic. I don't know, I love this cover, which drew me in. So it's by Emily Bain Murphy. I don't really know much about this, but I'm obsessed with this cover. It's got magic. We're ticking off some keywords. And yeah, the truth is a thread only her magic can unravel. I think she's trying to figure out what happened to her father. I don't really, he died, but we don't know why. Loving it. I also picked up The Other Side of the Sky by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I've read all of the things they've come out with together, so I thought I kind of had to pick up this. April's reading it currently, and apparently there's some polyamory undertones. I don't know if they're going to be overtones in the end. She's not sure. So I'm excited for this. We have a prince and a goddess, and they're like in opposition, but I think it's a romance of some kind. And there's a cat on the cover. Love that. I'm a little intimidated by this. Apparently it's a thriller. I don't know. This has so many conflicting things. I think that's why I'm intimidated. I don't know what it's trying to be, but I trust that Amy and Megan can pull it off. And finally, because I hate myself, I bought To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. It's as big as my fucking head. I've heard this is a standalone sci-fi. I've heard it's absolutely stunning. You've just got to put yourself through it. Obviously, Christopher Paolini is the author of the Eragon series. I have read Eragon and half of Eldest, whatever the second one is. Yeah, Eldest. But then I never finished the series. I kind of just lost interest in it. But I was always interested in reading more from the author, and this is the next thing he's come out with, like over 10 years later. Though he was quite young when he wrote the original, his first series. And so yeah, I guess I'm gonna read this at some point. When? Who the hell knows? But it'll happen at some point. This is literally like 900 pages. Yeah, 900 pages. It's got multiple appendices. It's freaking huge. I'm scared, but we're gonna read it at some point. So those are all the books that I hold in the month of September. Let me know what you've been picking up, any new releases you think I might have missed. That you think I will love, and otherwise I'll see you soon with another video. Trixie's come to sniff the books. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.